I would look in the mirror, I would do this. I would say, I love you. I love you. I love you. You can do a little bit better. Internal self talk and emotional validation. So many times we have that internal voice, and I know I had it growing up for many years. It was just this real that I thought I knew what other people were thinking about me. And it was just this horrible negative monologue that went off in my mind, and it never stopped. And sometimes it would, I'd have quiet, but I'd do something, then I'd just start insulting myself, and I would just go off on a rampage inside my mind on myself. And I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. I was always trying to be something I wasn't. And I didn't accept me for me. And I didn't talk to myself very well. And I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, basically. And this goes back to my childhood. I wasn't raised as best as a human could be raised. But then once I got older and I was aware that I could change that inner dialogue, it was my responsibility to do that. So I had to start with reparenting. And it took a while, but eventually that inner voice turned to like my biggest coach, biggest cheerleader, just super motivating, encouraging. And it's taken about, I don't know, 2 years to get there. But I'll tell you what, it feels wonderful to be talked to just always nicely and always encouraging on the inside. And then I realized how good it must feel. And I knew how good it feels. And then, so what I was going to say is how good it must feel for other people to receive encouragement and kind words. So by doing it to myself, I realized, oh man, this is amazing. Let me try this on other people, try to be encouraging and kind and loving and just the words to make them feel good. Not dishonesty, but just kindness. And this led me down the rabbit trail of healing my wounded inner child. Because in doing this, I realized that, oh, I can be a better dad by using this for my kids, by using this encouraging language to them. That doesn't make me perfect. But what happened was I started to embody a dad that I would have loved to have. And in doing that, I no longer was a little boy seeking a dad figure or a father figure that I never had. So, that negative self talk, the best thing to do if you want to change it is not to be negative about your negative self talk. That's where it starts. Give yourself grace. You didn't program that in on purpose. Be like, I'm going to make my voice talk shit about me all the time inside my head. You have to talk externally to yourself, as in a mirror, and your body receives it. Your eyes and ears receive it. At first, it feels really awkward. It does. But eventually, you start receiving it and it feels good. And where I truly started was in the mirror. I would look in my right eye and say, I love you 3 times. Then I'd look in the left eye and say, I love you 3 times. And at first, I didn't believe it. I didn't buy it at all. Not at all. A year or two later, I look in the mirror. I'm like, I love you. And I literally say it and encouraging, and I mean it. And it's like my soul talking to my body or to my soul. And now I've realized that I can return that to other people so much easier. And the other internal voice that started changing is when I would mess something up. I would drop something, or I would maybe drop a dish too loud. And this is when I'm by myself, that carried over from my childhood. And instead of like beating myself up about, let's say I don't tie the trash bag just right, or accidentally slam a door, or just anything in your daily movement around the house, or spilling something or breaking something accidentally like a dish, instead of cringing and just treat myself like an idiot, I was like, oh, wait a second. How would I want to be talked to if I were a kid? And so I'll tell myself this internally. Man, it's okay to do that. Everybody does that. You know, we all make mistakes. We're humans. And all we need to do is just slow that hand down a little bit. The next time we do this task, just go in slow motion and slowly move the hand over there, because the mind wasn't thinking about where the hand was going. I started receiving this internally also. And then on days when I do something well, I'll look in the mirror and I'll just be like, you're awesome. You're doing great. And on tough days, I'll just say, you're doing great. You're doing the best you can for what's given. And when I say tough days, like things externally, because my days internally are fantastic now. And I'm very thankful for that. And then the inner voice needs to encourage me also. It doesn't need to be harsh. So I changed it to this sometimes. I was doing well, but I was plateauing. I wasn't doing what I could be doing, because there's that inner voice or that knowing of like, man, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, but you're not. So I decided to give myself grace and be like, you know what? I will do it when I'm ready to do it. And I asked myself, well, how do I get there with treating myself kindly? So when I would look in the mirror, I would do this. I would say, I love you. I love you. I love you. You can do a little bit better. And it's not better as in good, but a little bit more performance, or a little bit more focus on learning something, a little bit more focus on tasks that need to be done that can easily be ignored and piled up. And I started doing that, and I didn't do anything the first day, the second day, the third day, or a week into it or so, or more. And then all of a sudden one day I started doing more, and felt good about it. I was like, man, I can do more. I am capable of this. I'm not lazy. I just sometimes need a pause and a rest and slow down. But when you change that inner dialogue to encouraging, I just looked at whether the microphone was on or off. Whether or not the microphone was on or off. One time I did a whole video, several times actually, and it was off. I was like, ugh. So when that inner dialogue changes, your whole perception of yourself changes. Because when your inner dialogue is bad, you view yourself as just deserving of all this negative, and it's hard to receive positive compliments from other people, and you're not even getting them internally. So when you shift that positive mindset to that real that's playing in your mind, talking to yourself, oh man, that's powerful. And then you can go down the rabbit trail of self validation, where if you have emotions, and this is that inner real also, teach it how to speak kindly to your emotions. When you're upset, you can gently just say, you know what? It's okay to be sad. Anybody would be sad if this happened. Or it's okay to be mad. Anybody would be mad if this happened. And just validate yourself and just be like, yep, this is disappointing, and it's okay to be disappointed. And when you do that, you acknowledge what's happening internally. And then you can actively choose how you're going to act next and what you're going to do. So when you identify that emotion, it gives you a little bit of pause. And then you can choose, I'm going to do this next. Because it's easy to let our emotions take over our actions, when those can easily be two separate things, or they can be one thing. Because we can get super mad and then out of anger be like, I don't know what to do with all this energy that's building up, and break something. Yeah, I did that when I was younger. I think a lot of people in their life has broken things in anger, or said things in anger, or just given up when sadness hits, or given in to disappointment and just giving up. But when you have sadness or disappointment and you identify it, You're like, yeah, it's okay to be this way. This is a natural feeling. It's part of the human experience. You maybe wanted this to happen a little differently, but you can't control the outside world, but you can control what you're going to do next. And then when you step into that purposeful action of how you want to conduct yourself next versus letting your emotional energy drive the machine, which is basically this body, you start breaking out of cycles also. You start breaking out of old habits and patterns and routines, and you become extremely powerful. Because now, if somebody tries to pull those little energetic tethers in your mind that activate memories and piss you off or make you mad or remind you of what a shitty person they are and they're still doing this shit to you, those strings are no longer attached to your emotions, because people basically that have traumatized you and treated you like shit and like done you wrong but are still in your life, they're like a puppet master. This is like the symbolism of like having that little square thingy or cross thingy with the strings on it going down to the puppet. And they're just like, oh, I know how to pull the strings and make them dance. But now that you're in control of what you do with your body after you acknowledge your emotions, oh man, they don't know what to do. You break out of cycles and you start being able to change what you're going to do next when things happen in life. It's very, very powerful. All that to say, next time you look in the mirror, tell yourself you love you. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. When you do something good, just be like, man, good job. When you fumble the ball, just be like, you know what? That happens. Next time, just focus on your hands a little more. Stay in the game. You like that football metaphor? And I don't care about football at all. That's a representation of like maybe dropping a dish or something. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I want to encourage you to talk nicely to yourself. It's very important. And when you can validate your own emotions, you become extremely powerful. And you are no longer looking externally for any validation from anybody, because you like you for you and you know your emotions, and nobody has any puppet strings on you anymore. I hope that hit home, and I hope that helps somebody. And of the like 12 or 13 or 20 people that watch this YouTube consistently, I dare you to leave a comment below. Or if you're my family, I dare you to leave a comment below. Because I no doubt my family, they watch the stuff I put on YouTube. But I kind of doubt you will. But if you're one of those cool people, leave a comment below. I'd like to know who watches this stuff. And if there's another subject you'd like me to talk on, like I would love to, because I'm a talky Timmy and I can talk about a lot of different things for a while. Anyway, I am officially done now. Roadhouse, Spiritual Horror.